Well, hello there, and welcome to a very special episode of the Microsoft Megabyte, hosted by, yes, yours truly, Brian Gavados. Okay, so what's so special? Well, in this episode, I speak to four? Yes, excuse me? Oh, 6 Microsoft retail field professionals who live and breathe sales, coaching, customer engagement, and just about anything that has to do with selling and demoing Microsoft products in store. So, why did we gather these 6 top performers together today? Well, the holiday season is rapidly upon us, isn't it? So what better time to get the best strategies, tactics, and tips for executing fast-paced and efficient selling than right now? So whether you're relatively new in your role or even if you're an experienced pro, I'm sure there's going to be plenty to sink your teeth into as I speak with Ryan Scott, Alyssa Arroyo, Aaron Werner, Chris Dade, Shah Siddiqui, and Mr. New York State of Mind himself, Renee Pantoja. So, knowledge drop beginning in 5, 4, 3...
My name is Ryan Scott. I am the market manager in the Seattle market area and the West Coast team, and I sell stuff at Costco, right? Like that's what I do. That's our job.
I live in Costco.
We live at Costco.
Okay, Ryan, just lay it on us. What are some of those? Please don't interrupt me. I'm trying to speak. Thanks. Sure. First of all, this is not your podcast, Ryan.
No problem.
Who do you think you are?
Hey, I'm just glad to be here.
That was a good move. Hey. I like that. Smart move. What are some demos? Let's talk rapid fire demos, because here we are. Holiday season is upon us. How do we get to the meat and get to the wow moments and get to those inspiring moments that make a customer really feel like I freaking gotta have this? How do you do that quickly though? You only have a couple minutes with each customer. Sure. Ryan, go tell us.
I mean, so first of all, it's going to be a super busy holiday season. I mean, you already hit that on the head. And we only have a couple minutes with a customer. And so you need to figure out, is this for them? Is it for a gift? And you got to figure out what kind of device they're looking for. Maybe it's a 2-in-1, an all-in-one, an Evo laptop, a Surface. We have the devices that fit their needs.
Sure.
So with so many customers coming in looking for PCs this holiday, we as sellers have limited time with them. So we have to, get all those things in a timely manner. Who is this device for? Is it for business, school? Is it using for gaming? Do they travel a lot? Is it for editing, like photo editing? After getting those answers, you can really fit them with, in that category and ultimately a few devices to recommend to them. Once you find that perfect device, you can wow them with that great demo. And that demo that I'm thinking of is Snap Layout.
Why?
The reason why is because, over the years, I've found out that most people don't know what snapping in Windows is. And it's sad, really. They should know that because it's going to save them so much time. And Snap Layout can do that for them. It's really simple. You just go to open some windows and then hover over to the minimize maximize button. You got to show them where that is. And then it just gives you all these layouts. And then you just select what you want. And then it just goes. And if you have a touchscreen, you can even use it on the touchscreen, and it even accentuates the feature on that device. It's so cool.
Hey, so just for brass tacks, and to help people not get caught up in any of these steps along the demo process, when you take someone over to show them this demo on a PC, what windows do you open up?
Just pretty much any window. It doesn't even matter. It could be your File Explorer. It could be your Edge browser. It just needs to be a few, like 3 or 4. Not a huge deal. Just whatever's on the bottom of that taskbar, just open it up. And then no matter what window you're demoing it on, you just hover over the minimize maximize button. It's going to pop it up on every single window. So it's super simple. And even the customer themselves, as soon as they see that you do that, they're like, how'd you do that? Be like, why don't you try? And then they can do it. And then they are experts immediately. It's so good. And I see it in their eyes when I demo it with them. I see all the possibilities, like how much time they're going to be saving with their family. They're not going to be working on stuff so much because they're not doing one window at a time like all these people I talk to every day. And then they can just get all their time back, which is pretty sweet.
Do you have a similar one with 365?
365 can be used on your desktop, laptop, phone, tablet, even your Xbox. If you didn't know that, you can use it on your Xbox too. Did you know that?
Well, I mean, I guess certainly with OneDrive storage for sure.
Exactly, but a lot of people don't know that, and you have
No, they
so
don't.
many holiday people that are going to be buying these Xbox Series consoles that they can utilize that, and they can, get the family subscription, give an account to their kid, then they can utilize that OneDrive for all their game saves or not game saves, but their game video clips and photos, and it's easier to transfer, that kind of stuff.
Ryan, you were supposed to join us just to talk about a Windows 11 Power rapid fire demo, and here you are, encroaching deeply into M365 value prop territory.
Yeah, it's crazy because everybody if you want the full experience of what Microsoft has to offer, you need to have M365, and I think OneDrive is that feature that it offers that is for everybody,
So my name is Alyssa Arroyo, and I am a district manager for WSET located in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, Alyssa, as you know, we're trying to get these top tips for these strong holiday selling environments and these fast holiday selling environments. And when I reached out to you about this, you actually had a different take on one of the more important aspects for ensuring that our customers are prepared and that they're going to buy today. So what is your one or two top ideas to share with everyone else as we get into the holiday selling season?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to thank you again, Brian, for inviting me to be here. Super excited about this. So thank you for that. So really our strategy, and I have to give a lot of kudos to my specialist, Chase Fisher in Houston, where we just want to make sure that customers are leaving with a purchase, whether they're purchasing online or in store. And the first thing is, if it's in stock, sell it now. Setting the expectation early on that there are inventory constraints across the board. And if they do not walk out with the device today, then most likely they will not have one come Black Friday time because inventory is so spotty.
That's a really important reality check, because it doesn't matter how great the demo is, how good the promotions are, how good your objection handling skills might be. If the product isn't available right now, that kind of makes the whole sales interaction lose steam, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we see countless customers, frustrated when they don't get told whether it's in stock, today or not at all. And that kind of alleviates that pressure.
Okay, let's say you've been demoing and talking about this awesome device, and then at the last minute you realize, oh my gosh, we don't have any in stock. Like, what do you do in that moment,
Yeah, that's a good question. And I know that some best practices, we typically have kind of a substitution list ready. So when there's a certain SKU not in stock, here's the other one that's comparable to it that you can sell to them, or really just leveraging the open box as well. I think a lot of people forget to just offer open box to begin with because they assume everyone just wants a brand new device. And some people, because they want to purchase that same day, they don't mind with going to open box.
Hi there, this is Aaron Werner. I am the market manager of the Minnesota market, and I'm here to talk to you guys about some of the qualifying questions to help rapid fire close the sale within 5 minutes.
Rapid fire close a sale within 5 minutes. It can't be done, Aaron. They've already tuned out. They've thrown their phones into the lakes while they're listening to this podcast, because what you're saying must be surely a lie. How can it be done in 5 minutes? So seriously though, Aaron, what is the issue that you're observing for specifically these holiday, intense selling seasons? What is that issue that is preventing people from closing a sale more quickly than they're used to? And what's your advice for getting them there?
So I've really hit the ground running and talked to a lot of team members, RMs, senior market managers about some of the common things they've seen in the field. And the biggest thing that they see is, especially during holiday time, bringing the time frame up, asking early when they need it.
Give me an example of what that might sound like.
So a big thing is just go up to them with an open-ended question. Say, hi, I'm the Microsoft rep of this area. I'm so glad you guys stopped by. What cool PC are we looking at today? You're qualifying them with a reminder of that, you're here today, let me help you today. So you are
Sure.
trying to push a time frame already. And if they say, no, I'm just kind of looking at ideas for the holiday season, I'm probably not going to look at anything for a couple of weeks, then you can ask yourself, do I qualify or do I excuse myself if it's busy to move to an immediate need with another guest?
Yeah. Okay. So walk me through that decision tree, because that's a pretty important moment to make the decision, to make that call between continuing to invest time in a customer or moving on to another customer. I mean, how do you sort of judge that moment?
Most people will give you what they need off the bat if you're sincere about the ask. If it's stiff, they're going to either pull you along for the ride, unfortunately, and you're going to spend more time than necessary, or you can just say, I'm just wondering, is there something cool you're looking for the holidays, looking to secure something, just so you have it in hand? If they let you know that it's not an immediate need and it's busy, then you can move on to somebody else. But if they are the one and only one at the table, then you can spend the time. And excusing yourself is not a negative thing in the sale. You're not doing anything rude to the guest or anything like that. You can simply say, awesome. If we're just looking at some stuff today, just getting some information, I can let you take a peek around. Definitely grab me if you have any more questions.
Right. And then I want to ask you one more thing. When you do get to the point where you're perhaps in a product demo or explaining, answering some product questions and working your way through the sale, are there any top tips you have that help you to compress that timeline? Obviously, as you said, without being rude or without rushing a customer along, but nevertheless, you don't want to take 20 minutes per customer for these interactions necessarily. So how do you condense that whole experience into something that is, efficient?
I qualify people using profiles that I've seen out in the field commonly. So I qualify with the ask of, say, after the time frame, they say, yeah, I'm definitely looking for something this afternoon. Ask, is this something that you're going to use for home use, business use, or something for gaming? And if it's not one of the three, they will more than likely tell you they're a student. And if you get one of those four answers, you've already knocked down a ton of options.
Right.
Because if somebody says, I'm going to use it for home use, then you can say, so use Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and do an easy early seed drop of Microsoft 365 or Home and Student. And if you have a lot of people who are watching you and you want to make sure that you're getting a lot of mileage out of a longer demo, if other people are around the table and they're watching you, say, hey, do you guys want to come over and see something cool too? Get mileage out of a single demo by inviting a ton of others.
Oh, very smart. Get mileage out of a single demo by inviting others. That's nice.
So my name is Chris Dade. I am a retail partner store specialist with Microsoft.
So Chris, when you're thinking of holiday selling skills, and I'm sure you've been through a few holiday selling seasons, what comes to mind as a big area of opportunity for the Microsoft team in general at retail for getting those inspirational, enthusiastic wow moments for our customers, getting to them quickly and closing the sale? What comes to mind?
So I think the biggest, thing is what questions you ask. Sometimes we get in the rabbit hole of just asking questions without purpose. And the biggest thing I like to focus on is, are you asking, what kind of experience are you looking for out of this computer? What did you like about your old computer? And then what do you use your computer for besides basic stuff in work? We all know we do basic stuff in work, but besides that, what do you use your computer for? And usually you get those three questions as a good baseline, and they're going to tell you what they use the computer for, what kind of experience they're looking to get out of this, and what they liked about the old one. So that way, very quickly, if you're in a rush or you don't have as much time to really get to know the customer, you can know exactly who they are, what they're trying to do, and make sure you get to that solution quicker versus having to ask multiple, follow-up questions if you don't ask that kind of detailed question like I just gave you.
Sure. So starting out with those big, broad, yet very informative questions can also help inform your attach options as you're discussing things with the customer. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you talk about the experience. If they say they're looking to have a lot of meetings, or they're talking to their grandchildren a lot, or they use it for, music, exactly, hey, I need to talk about maybe an external microphone, video kit recorder, or even something that's going to add to that experience for that customer. So it's a great way to narrow it down quickly. And then you could easily relate that solution back to their lifestyle. hey, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, based on what you told me, you do a lot of Zoom, Teams and Zoom meetings. Let me tell you why another camera and microphone is going to benefit you. Or, hey, you said that you're doing a lot of looking up stuff on the web. Let me tell you why this extra mouse is going to be more beneficial than using the touchpad. So it just sets you up to relate that solution to the customer's lifestyle.
Absolutely. Okay, you make those recommendations. You get the customer over to a sweet, awesome new premium Windows 11 device. And how do you stay on top of your game to make sure that you're not confused or stumbling when it comes time to actually showcase something?
So I think the biggest thing is, just like the pro athletes and anybody in their field, practice makes perfect. So really making sure you spend in your downtime those few minutes getting familiar with where certain things are, what certain buttons do, or where to go, in a certain demo. So that way, once you get in front of the customer, you're not practicing with the customer. I firmly believe, when we're with the customer, it's game time. So really making sure you have all that stuff in your arsenal, really practice, get to know everything, and make all those mistakes beforehand. So once you get to the customer, it's a flawless, easy demo. You know exactly where you're going, what you need to do, and you can show it to the customer as quick as possible. Also, we all know the unfortunate death by demo. If you practice enough, you know what could happen, where the demo could go wrong. You can easily fix it and correct it versus having that oh no moment in front of the customer.
Chris, you've been so succinct and yet so powerful. Anything we missed from your perspective?
No, I just think the last thing is understand that, it's going to get busy. It's sometimes the holiday season is supposed to be fun, but hey, it might be a little bit stressful. There might be a lot of customers. Just take a deep breath, take a step back and realize, hey, I'm here for the customer. They might be angry. They might be upset. There might be a lot going on, but as long as I can give them the best experience possible and find out what they need, I'm going to turn their day around and make sure whoever they're buying for, or whatever reason they're buying for, it's going to be the best experience or best solution for them.
Hi, my name is Shah Siddiqui. I am a retail partner store specialist from New York, and I cover all of Long Island stores. So if anyone is familiar with New York and Long Island, come look for me and I'm there, and any of the best stores.
What comes up in your mind when someone says, how do I best prepare for holiday selling season when it comes to selling and representing Microsoft in store?
Perfect. So for me, one of the best things that we have been doing for a while is something called Holiday Substitution List. So this is essentially a list of comparable SKUs for all the big holiday sale items. For example, if we have a laptop which is $300 or $400 off, guess what? That's going to get sold out very quickly.
Right.
But now what happens when a customer comes in looking for that item? First, they're on the line. They are right after Thanksgiving dinner. So they're frustrated that they have to be on the line with all the craziness going out there. So if we cannot offer them a solution, one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to walk out and buy it online, or they're going to go to our competitive retailer. So how do we stop that? And Holiday Substitution List is an amazing tool for that. If we know the specs of that computer and we can find the next best price, I know we cannot match the price of the holiday pricing, right? That's right. Why it's a holiday sale. But if we can find the next best match for the same comparable spec with almost close price bracket, that's a steal, because customers are going to trust you that you are not only trying to help them save money, but you also care about them and you are trying to find a solution for that. So having a substitution list for the big ticketed items, it's critical. And on top of that, knowing what's available in your store for those substitution lists. Because guess what? You have a substitution list. You share that like, hey, I do not have this XYZ product, but I can offer you ABC. But guess what? I sold you on the idea, but I do not have it in stock.
Yeah.
So now I'm setting myself up for failure, and I am not helping the customer at all because I'm just adding more to their frustration. So the best way to do it is having your own list. And then every day you are at a store, please do an inventory check, because that will save you so much trouble. And you'll thank yourself at the end of your shift. Like, I did an amazing job and I helped so many people today.
That is really, really valuable advice. And as you're talking through it, we've all been there. And when you're selling a dream, you're selling, the lights are turning on in your customers' eyes, and they're so excited about this product and how perfectly it's going to fit their lives. And okay, great. Oh, great. We'll even add some accessories. This is so awesome. You're so excited to buy it. And then boom, you don't have it in stock and the wind is totally taken out of your sales and the whole energy just goes And it's like, wait, but now I need to go find this because you've sold me on this dream. I want it now. I'm going to go find it wherever I can. And then it almost seems like when you're selling up plan B, that it's not as exciting anymore. And it's not as thrilling. And I thought that you wanted me to get this one, and this was the one for me. This was the model. And now you're saying this other one. And so I think what you're getting at, Shaw, is having that in mind throughout the whole selling process, having that substitution list aside. So you're selling the value of all the items on the substitution list that match the same dream that you're selling, so that you're never left standing there with the wind taken out of your sails and your customer feeling deflated.
100%. Also, if we are not selling what they need and we're trying to upsell, because holiday season is not the time to upsell. We already know that. Customers are trying to do in and out. So for that sole purpose, we need to be more proactive versus having a reactive approach to selling what's best for our customers.
So tell me briefly about how that actually plays out in a rapid fire holiday sales floor. You've got the customer interested in a device. You do have it in stock. How do you go about condensing that close of the sale? Because you only have perhaps seconds, or at least at the most only a couple minutes. What do you do?
Usually my go-to approach is, this device is out of stock and you're not going to get it anywhere because it's a ticketed item or it's a big sale item. So inventory is low throughout the whole region, but I can offer you a comparable solution which will fit everything that you're trying to do, and it's on a very competitive price point. So you will get the best of both worlds. Granted, you are not getting what you came in for, but we can always help you out completing the whole solution and see what are other accessories that you may need, and we can find you some good prices and build you a whole bundle. So that has always been my go-to approach, where I always ensure that they understand that I heard their problem, that, hey, I know what you came in looking for is not here. So that's first. I'm acknowledging that.
Yep.
Second, I'm offering them a solution that will fit their need, but not only their needs, but also their budget, because holiday season is a budget-friendly season because they are buying gifts for 500 people at a time. Of course, it's exaggeration, but I'm just saying you get the idea.
Yeah.
So at that point, the more budget-friendly you are, the more trustworthy you become. So for me to gain that trust, for me to add more solution, not to build basket just to give them the whole complete solution, I have to be that trustworthy salesperson, because everyone knows that during holiday season, we're just trying to get the customer out of our way, but that's not the approach, right? So we need to make sure that they trust us, and we can only build that trust when we're offering them that comparable solution. So listening to understand that, hey, I understand what you came in looking for is not there, and this is what I'm offering you, and this is why I'm offering you this. We have it, and this is also going to run out. So you need to make a quick decision that whether you want to get on this train or not. So giving them that understanding and that urgency of time sensitivity, because it's holiday season. If you're not getting it, the next person will. So now what? Then you're going to be on a higher price bracket,
right?
And you will lose out on a chance of getting this amazing device.
Well, there's that wonderful East Coast directness.
Hi, I'm Rene Pantoja. I am a specialist out of New York City, and I cover predominantly Manhattan, but I'm all over the place.
Wow, covering Manhattan. I mean, how many specialists cover Manhattan anyway?
It's just me. It's just me.
How is that possible?
It's just an island, not by myself.
Oh, like literally and figuratively. I see the metaphor there.
Yes.
Wow. Tell me, when you think about holiday preparedness and holiday selling and the differences that happen, and you already work in such a high tempo, fast paced market, but I'm sure things get even more condensed during the holiday season. So what comes to your mind when you think about getting your whole stores ready for representing Microsoft when you only got sometimes just seconds with each customer? What do you do to help prepare?
Well, one of the things that are important is, especially with seasonal employees, or even if, let's say they're a seasoned employee, but this is their first holiday season, how do you drive M365 offer rate? How do you keep them on script, if you will? And one of my favorite things to do, I've been doing it since the beginning of October. I'm going to do it throughout the holiday season. It's all about quick 1 to 2 minute role plays. Having 1 to 2 minute role plays around offer rate is important. I want to change their pitch from, do you need Microsoft Office? Do you need Office? To What programs are you using? You know, this device doesn't come with Microsoft 365, or does it come with Word? It doesn't come with, however you want to say it using their voice, but you want to have them start a conversation with the customer or inform the customer that this doesn't come with something they need.
Right.
And that's important.
But that you have that thing that they need. And today is the best day to include that in the whole solution.
Absolutely. And save some money.
Nice. And that dovetails neatly into other conversations I've been having with your colleagues about the importance of practicing, not on your customers, but practicing with someone like you who can really help guide that. And I think that's really what a role play is. It's a safe place to practice.
Yes. So I absolutely agree with that. And also in conjunction with that, it's all about how comfortable can they be with the customer? Like, one of the things is that you'll inform them on what to say and how to say it, and they're like, I got it. But then when they're in front of the customer, they freeze up. So how do you get that repetition going very fast? And it's just second nature.
I think a lot of those moments where even seasoned professionals can find themselves freezing up, as you say, is around objections, and perhaps objections that seem to come out of left field, objections that you're not anticipating. How do you ensure that your retail pros and your entire store really is prepared and ready to positively handle those objections from customers?
One of my favorite things to do is objection workshops. And it's not something I pull them off the floor for, or
okay,
I carve like the 30 minutes, you're all mine. It's literally 1 to 2 objections that they're experiencing first. Hey, I'll ask them, hey, what objections are you having? What's stopping you from selling Office? And we'll have that conversation. And then have a quick role play around it. I like to keep it at 2 minutes max. Sometimes it goes over because you want to be effective and then hit everyone, right? And without disrupting the business and getting your partners upset.
Nice. So from a 30,000 foot perspective, you're saying get comfortable doing these rapid fire role plays, that a role play doesn't need to be a big 30-minute ordeal.
Yes.
Focus in on specific areas, specific issues, do the role play. And I think what that does, actually, I think a lot of adult learning professionals, like people who are doing training and knowledge retention work and stuff, they will say that is how you get people to remember stuff. Small bite-sized nuggets that you can digest quickly and actually make use of it right then and there. And I think there's no better time for that than when things get busy and crazy in the holidays, because you can't sip from a fire hose during the holidays. You got to just give those important morsels along the way. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, and that's why they asked me to talk to you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad I can help. And thank you for allowing me to be a participant.
This has been the Microsoft Megabyte Podcast, a training tool for Microsoft field team members and sales professionals across the country, produced by Microsoft employees.